This is Clix on the Barbie. Join us as we talk about Clix in Australia, current HeroClix happenings, and a dash of meta. Welcome to Clix on the Barbie, episode 35. I'm Ben Jones, and with me I have Anthony Callahan.
Hey!
In this episode, we're going to be talking about our good and bad and ugly, any HeroClix that we've been playing over the last week. We're also going to talk about the Avengers Forever set and our top 5 HeroClix out of that. And we'll also have a question about equipment and the utility belt, and yeah, we'll talk about that as when we get to it. So let's turn on the gas, light the Barbie, and let's talk some Clix. Well, Anthony, it's been a few weeks since we've caught up. Actually, I think last time we caught up was before Christmas. So how's things been? What's your good, what's your bad, what's your ugly over our last time away? Maybe what's your best Christmas present?
Wow, well, good's obviously Christmas. I got a few little nice bits and pieces, but probably the best was not for me. It was something that I gave my nephew. And as you know, my nephew's gotten into Pokemon cards. So I was able to get my doubles together and put them into a nice little box and give them to him, and he quite enjoyed that. In fact, it stopped the opening of the presents until he looked to release a decent amount of them.
Yeah. Okay. It's always good to feed someone else's collecting habit as well. I like that.
And look, it cleared some space out of my boxes too.
Yes, all those spare cards you keep for one rainy day but never actually use. But now you've used them. And
like all those spare HeroClix I have.
Yes, very much so. I've got boxes of them. No, cool, excellent. And yeah, anything else that you've enjoyed or?
Let's see. It was a good time over Christmas.
Yep.
It was nice to not be at work. I did play a bit of the latest Pokemon game for the Switch, which has been a lot of fun. I got myself a shiny Mudbray.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I know. Quite surprised about that. And got to go to the museum in Canberra last weekend and got to see the Feared and Revered exhibition that was on. So that's always fun seeing bits and pieces from around the world. So
and Canberra's Canberra's a good place to be for going to museums, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
You've got a fair few around. No, nice, excellent. That sounds really good. And I guess back to work and things are heading back into normal after the summer break.
Yeah, that's the bad. That's the bad. Back to work.
No, I totally get that. But for myself, our Christmas was pretty good. It was good as well. Just nice time with family. And for myself, my best present I got given was I got like a Lego stand, little cabinet thing which has lights in it. It's like I've got 5 shelves, but so not using it for Lego, but I can use it for putting my HeroClix in, and I can put a light on, and I just guess it's something to display my HeroClix in, which is really nice.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that was really cool. And so that made me have to reorganize all my shelving at home so I could put it up and put it up so I can put all the HeroClix in it. So that's been good fun to do, and I've enjoyed doing over the Christmas break is actually tidying up all my HeroClix, putting things away, and just labeling things and making sure all my HeroClix are organized. So with family time and able to chance to spend a bit more time organising HeroClix, it always makes me happy.
They do get everywhere, don't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate to have a pretty big, I guess, workspace for HeroClix. I have a building zone, I guess. I'm not sure how other people work, but I'm fortunate enough to have a shed and not a big mechanical kind of guy. So I guess my shed is more of my playroom. And so I've got a nice big bench where I can have teams set out. Like sometimes I have 10 to 12 teams all set out on my bench around the place as I've been constructing and working. So it's quite easy to get HeroClix going everywhere. And then it's like interesting things. So then I'm going, cool, I need to find this HeroClix. And I think I come across 4 HeroClix where I've got the cards, but I don't know where the actual click is. So I have to go.
That.
Have to go and search through a whole lot of boxes to see if I can find them. It's like, oh no, it was.
You go, oh, when did I use it last? What team was I playing it in?
That's right.
Who will it be with?
That's right. Who could it possibly be with? And the ones I'm sort of missing are ones from Star Trek and the Orville set. And I was like, oh no, who could I have played them with? Because I usually keep them pretty separate. Like, I like playing the Star Trek stuff with the Star Trek stuff and the Orville stuff, and the same with the wrestling, the WWE. Usually, and so when we're playing, I'll probably play them separately. But I've mixed them in somewhere, and I don't know where I've put them. Anyway, but that's part of the joy of searching for HeroClix. I think that's what I like about the legacy cards as well, is when they announce legacy cards, cool, I've got to go back through all my HeroClix boxes, yes, I found the card, have I got the actual piece somewhere? I enjoy that. I enjoy that hunt for the legacy pieces as well. I've still got to go back and find my Hawkeye somewhere. I've got the card, but I've got to go find the piece. I know I have one, I just haven't found it yet. Anyway.
Is that the one on the cycle?
Yeah, yes, on his Avengers air cycle or sky cycle. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure I have one, but I'm not sure where it is. Anyhow, and yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be on holidays, so it's been nice to have some relaxing time. We did go up to the river over this time, and that was more so to see the flooding that's occurring up and around my sister-in-law's property and things like that, and that's been pretty amazing to see. Places where I've been going kayaking for years, and they're just underwater. Everything's on the water, which is just pretty amazing. But yeah, so it's been a good break since our last time. We've really enjoyed it.
Go on.
Last time we actually spoke about legacy cards, and I was looking through our comments on YouTube, and Jocelyn from the Dice Station Zebra, she commented on one saying about, because we sort of talked about how legacy cards, and it's really good to get legacy cards for old pieces, and I hadn't really thought about people who've only sort of been collecting for maybe a short amount of time. It's because we sort of talked about how having a was it Batman Beyond seems like how long should it be? Sorry, focus. How long should we wait before legacy cards made for a figure?
Yeah.
And I think, and Jocelyn said, well, some of us haven't been collecting for as long, and it's really great to be able to get a legacy card for figures that we have, which may be sets that have just gone into silver. And I thought that's
fair.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, I've been collecting for many years, and so I've got lots of old figures, and I like to see them. But if you haven't been collecting for years, then your legacy cards aren't as much use. But if there are still some out there which are figures that you've got from your short collecting time, that I think that still makes them really valuable. So I really like that point. So thanks for sharing and for commenting on our YouTube, Jocelyn. That was really good. And yeah, so I thought that makes sense for legacy cards, Anthony.
Yeah, no, totally agree.
Cool.
I suppose it's easy to think that everybody's been playing as long as we have.
Yeah.
Which, there's always new people into the game, and, it would be a nice little advantage if they could reuse something that they've, when they started playing a couple of years ago, or they can use it again.
Yeah, definitely. So that was a really good point. And I look forward to, I guess, more legacy cards in the future, because I do enjoy using those legacy card figures when I get a chance. Let's move on and talk about some HeroClix games we've played. So I think I've had a chance to. I played my first game HeroClix this year. Usually the last few years I've had games going like day 1, day 2 of the new year, but I had to wait a week and a half before I played my first game of HeroClix. And that was like, no, I was actually like, no, why haven't I played a game of HeroClix yet? But I did get a game, and I played an Avengers team, and the figures came from the Avengers Forever. I was looking to use the Falcon team up card, because Falcon team up allows him to make a free attack if Captain America's attacked the character and hit them.
Okay.
And so I thought, cool, I can play Captain America, I play Falcon, I played Hawkeye on as well because he has the follow-up trait. So if someone with the Avengers keyword hits, he can make a free attack. And so I was got into this real situation where I had Captain America running shot and hit someone, then Falcon could charge in and then hit him again, and then Hawkeye could have a shot from long range as well, which was really cool. And so yeah, and I think it was actually a Shield team because I was playing Nick Fury and Maria Hill as well, and of that the Captain America, Falcon, and Hawkeye all had Shield, and it just sort of worked really nicely. I was playing against an X-Men team which had a few of the Hellfire Gala people.
Ooh, yep.
And yeah, and we've been also trying to work with the Longshot and the Hellfire Gala people, because Longshot can change he's got Rally, which can change a 5, which can change one die into a 5, so he can take his Rally die and put it into his attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were looking at saying, well, if that occurs, then he's got a 5 in there. He could then use the Hellfire Gala, which can change the other one to a 5, which then makes it a 10, which makes him have a critical hit because he rolls a critical hit on double 5s. So we've been playing around with that a bit. I was fortunate enough he spread his team out a little bit too far and was able to pick him off a little as I went around the side. But we're looking at continuing to practice in those sort of teams and just have a bit of fun with them as well.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah, I've tried to stretch it. It's not super effective, and I've looked at the rules about when dice replacement occurs and things like that, and I think it all works from what I can see. I'm trying not to go because it's not a finalized dice roll. It's just like after rolling, so I think it all works. And yeah, for me, I'm going. If I've got Polaris, she's got free TK. She can be, and so Polaris is free TK and can carry. Moira McTaggart can give a rally die, so you can power action to give a rally die, and so she can just load long shots straight up, and then it's just a matter of TKing him out. He run shots, hits, or doesn't even. He's just got to shoot. He doesn't even have to hit. He drops his rally die. The other rally die gets, then the Hellfire Gala one gets dropped. It's a critical hit. So yeah, it's a really I've been playing around with that a bit and seeing if that actually works. Someone might say, "Hey, no, actually, that's not the way it works," but it feels like it's the way it works.
Long shots are not unique, so you could have multiple long shots on that team. He's only 50 points.
I actually hadn't thought of having multiples on the team. Wow, okay. I think the reason is because you can only do the Hellfire Gala once per turn. You can only change one of the dice to a 5 once per turn.
Yeah, but you can load the other one up with a rally dice.
You could. So I just thought I could I just keep loading up as I can. And if I have the Cyclops on the team from the Hellfire Gala, he allows you to take a token off of someone when you hit with a 10. So you go, cool, I'll take that token off a long shot, and so he's just go shooting. Critical hit, critical hit, critical hit, critical hit. And so I think I was more looking at mates. I mean, I've sort of got off track here, but I was thinking a bit more, and having some enhancers with him would be good. So because long shot only hits for 3, but if you've got someone like who I've got, I can't think, Dazzler. From the not from Rise and Fall, from the Empire set, I think she is, because she can actually give the Shield team ability to 2 other characters of the X-Men keyword. So then you're handing out Shield, nice. So then
increase the range.
Yeah, so all of a sudden you can have, and I think the other one I had on there just testing things out was maybe Cypher, because I think he has Empower and enhancement. And so all of a sudden you've got, like, if you have Dazzler and him next to Hawkeye, or next to Longshot, sorry. He's hitting for like 6. So he's 3 plus the 2 for enhancement plus 1 for the critical hit. Which I thought,
pretty good.
It's certainly, I've got the team all set up. I've got to test it out. But we'll probably play that tomorrow night and have a look. Anyway, that's yeah. Sorry, I've got off on a rambling tangent there about my teams, but again, it's nothing. I guess meta defining, but it's certainly good fun for something to bring to my local to play.
Yeah. Oh, I look forward to playing you at that at some point.
Okay, well, I'll put it together and we'll play one Sunday when we get our Sunday games, when we keep them going. And I guess that's a beautiful segue into our Sunday game that we had this week.
Yes, that was a bit of a fun game.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you had fun. You go.
No. It was just I'd brought to the table a team that I'd played before. We had good old Venom Magneto, Prime Omega Red, Speed Weasel, who I love.
You do like that Speed Weasel.
I do. And good old X of Swords, Roulette, Cable, and the Common Magic.
Yep.
And let's, of course, not forget the most important part, the Purity Sword.
The Purity Sword. I do like that sword.
And it played pretty well.
Yep, it's a really nice X-Men team that you've got. I really like it, and I especially like that Purity Sword being on Omega Red. With him being able to flurry and have his giant... Has he got Giant Reach 3?
Giant Reach 3.
That one.
So, it allows me, should I hit to create 2 different Okaran warriors. So, and, they come in handy.
Well, they take up space on the map, and they're things that's maybe it's hard to break away from, or it's they take up that space as like another thing to kill, but I'm not actually getting points for it, and like they can still hit you as well. So I think they're great.
They do need a move and attack rather than just standing there and then moving and then next turn attacking. But if I position them properly, they do what they should do.
Yeah.
I don't always position them properly.
Oh, and I think probably the one difference is with the Omega Red is when you generate them, I think you generate them next to Omega Red, don't you?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, and so then, and if you're hitting for away, like 3 squares away, they're not as viable, if that makes sense. Because they're like...
Yeah, but they do make a nice little meat shield, so you can't just go straight up and attack Omega Red.
Exactly. That's because I had to get through those. Anyway, so you played that, and my goal, Anthony, was to play a mission point team.
And it was going really well.
It was. So I played, I was looking at playing Kate Pride, which I can't remember if it's Kate or Kitty.
It's Kate.
It is Kate. And so the one that makes the stranded mutants. So you've got to run over to the opposition's starting area and start dropping these... are they stranded mutants? I think they are. And you've got to drop them so you can keep on earning points. And then you have to get them back to your starting area to get those points. So it was tricky. I came up with my team was obviously Kate Pride, and I also put on Venom Magneto because free TK is always great. And I like the fact that he can carry 4 other people as well. I had Deadpool, so he was the rubber ducky Deadpool. I don't know if you could.
Yep.
And I liked him because he had 10 speed, and so he could cover a fair bit of distance. And he was also has the team ability, so he can copy other team abilities. So that's the reason why he was in there. And he could drop his water and give people the Dolphin team ability as well. So I actually really like him. He's got lots of great benefits to him. To go over that, I also had Tempo because I needed the +3 to my speed.
And I think Tempo should be on any X-Men team.
Yeah.
But,
I agree.
She's amazing.
She is great. I also had... So this is where I sort of went out. So this is where my team deviates from being a theme team, because I put Batman Prime from the Batman team up set in because I really wanted to have that Green Lantern team ability, which then could be shared with Deadpool, so then he could be carrying 8 people. I had on there Annihilation, because I thought I'd bring Annihilation across. She can make her Damon bystanders, and then they can be the defensive block, so that Kate Pride can drop her strand of mutants and without too much fear of being hit, because Annihilation is there to take that damage, and then I could also pass on her Damon bystanders to someone else so I can continue to produce them.
Yeah.
And who's the other one? It wasn't Prodigy, it was Manifold. So I had Manifold as well. He can copy the Green Lantern team ability. He was handing out combat reflexes to the people he was next to as well. So, and that was pretty much the team. And with Batman, I had the Green Lantern ring on, the utility belt on as well, and so I was dropping Smoke Cloud when I had a chance with the utility belt. I put the stop sign out. So basically, it worked to get across on turn 1. So I could TK Deadpool up. Magneto could carry up to Deadpool. Tempo increases his speed by 3. I also had the Cloak of Levitation on Deadpool as well, just to give him that extra sidestep. So Deadpool's got a speed of 13 then. He carried everyone across into one corner. I set Annihilation and Batman up. Batman could drop the stop sign for free, and then I could put Barrier up, and so at least I was protected and I could start dropping pieces. That was the plan, and it actually worked for the most part.
Yeah. Well, I like that because I wasn't sure how you were going to get up there. And for my starting turn, I didn't put anybody too far out like I probably would have to try and pick somebody off. But it's like, oh, I'll wait and see, what your next move is. So I moved a couple of people around, and then you're right down in my starting zone. I'm like, oh, all right, well, I have to pivot on this one and see how I can make it difficult for you.
Yes, and yeah, you're moving out on your turn 1, and it wasn't far, but it was a good distance to go. Cool, okay, I can get in here, and I can build my little barricade zone and start producing. And I think I actually really enjoyed the battle. Like turn 2, I had another bystander dropped, and then Deadpool carried him back to Magneto, and then Magneto carried him to the starting zone, and so at the end of turn 2 I had 8 mission points already.
And yes, things were looking pretty grim for me.
And obviously but I thought you did a great job. You came through, you took Annihilation out, which was like, I was like hoping you managed to outwit the super senses, the combat reflexes, and you did get through Annihilation, which was excellent. It was actually really close because you were taking points, but I was getting my mission point stuff together. I did manage to get Deadpool back to your starting area, and by that time there was like 2 other stranded mutants, and then turn 5 Kate Pride dropped her fifth one, so I had 3, so then Deadpool was able to come back. But you did the right thing in going killing Magneto. That was that Speed Weasel, man. Speed Weasel just can cover so much distance and then do so much damage as well. So he took Magneto out. So then I had to wait another turn because I had to take Deadpool across, then wait before I could go take him the rest of the way. Otherwise, turn 5, if Magneto was still there, and I've thought about that too, I could have probably TK'd Magneto out the way, and TK'd him back when I needed.
But it's all about learning for the next game. It's the first time you've played that team.
Yeah.
So,
but I go, if you and I play again and you see that team, it'd be totally like the wrong map can absolutely make it super hard, especially like if they're the corner starting area ones, because I've got to try to get it's certainly one that take by surprise first, but if I'm playing you again, I think you play a lot differently as well, because you know now what's going to happen.
Next time I play you, I probably wouldn't have this particular team.
Yep.
So, and that changes it up as well, because like there wouldn't be a Speed Weasel to run you down.
Yes.
There would probably be a Magneto there to throw everybody else around, but it'd probably be about the only same thing.
And I think it was that because turn 5 I came back across with the three stranded mutant bystanders, but I could only get 3 quarters away across the map, and then Speed Weasel came and killed one, and that was memorable
You
time.
almost got to that zone.
Yeah, we nearly get there. So I'm going to keep working at it. I was looking at how maybe I could add extra mission points. I did have tarot cards for the mission point things, and I went to breakaway, but didn't breakaway obviously. And so I'm going to continue to tweak. I feel like there needs to be something else in there just to add a little bit of more spice, but it was pretty packed out as it was. But
I thought your team worked really well, and I feel that I got pretty lucky to be able to pip you at the post on that one.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. It was good. It was good to see you. Like, I was seeing if my wall would stand, so I could continue to do the things I need to do, which it stood pretty well. And
but once again, Speed Weasel.
it came around the outside.
So running in, just blocking. Is it? She can destroy a piece of blocking and then charge
and
again.
then still charge. So I put up a blocking trade, and then you still manage to break one and then charge through. No, but that's all part of it. And I've got next part is to look at, can I do that, and how do I go on the offensive as well. And I think I've got some of that there. Anyway, but it was good fun, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you, Anthony, for testing it out with me. And I look forward to more games as we go through the year.
Oh, we will.
We will, definitely. Okay, so I don't know if I'm taking it that was probably the only game that you've had of late.
Yes, it is the only game I've had since the last time we played.
Since last time we played, yeah. And it's a great place to play Clix is Australia. Okay. Let's look at our next thing, which I thought we could look at, is the Avengers Forever set.
Yes.
I've I managed to get my case of this set, and I've really enjoyed playing the pieces out of it. So far, I've managed to play a fair few. I've played Dormammu, I've played the Hulk, I've played. I'm trying to think now. Blue Marvel, and I've played a lot of the common and uncommon pieces, because that's generally where I like to play out of a lot. Just because I just enjoy the simplicity sometimes of it all.
Now the big question.
Yes.
And you may have already answered this. Ooh. But did you get your Swordsman Prime?
I did get my Swordsman Prime. I was certainly happy with my Swordsman Prime, and I try to remember if I have already, but I don't know if I have. Maybe I have. I think I've teamed up with Koi, and we've had that game, because I look at it and I go, well, you got Koi, you can have him at 200 points, the Swordsman at 75, and Mantis in that set is 25 points. There's your 300 point team, which could work really well. I want to play. I haven't gone back to playing around with that, because I did like Red Root the Forest on that team as well, because he was able to move around really well with Koi's putting down terrain and everything like that. So, but I was really happy. And now you say that, I'm going, oh no, he's not on my list here. I've got a list for my top 5 that I really like from that set. I'm going to put him down. But he was good. He's good fun to play. That Prime Swordsman. And yeah. So,
have you worked out a team to team up with? What is it? Redwood.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think it's. I can play. I think it's about how if you want to play Koi at 100 points rather than 200, because that's where you have to play him at. And then so you've got that. Then you've got Koi. Then you've got the Swordsman. And what would that be? Because I think Red Root is 80 or 75 plus 5. If I remember correctly. And look, Red Root Forest isn't the greatest figures, but actually I've enjoyed playing it when I've played it. I can't even find her now. There we go, Red Root Forest. It's only 60, so 65 of a sword. And then, so you have to, and then, because you can only play, I think it's 45 or 75, just let me check here. And always the best time, so 40 and 75. Okay, no, can no. If I want to play Red Root Forest, I could play it without a sword, but playing it without a sword seems silly, because the sword actually is something that does something that you want. because you could play Red Root Forest for 60, Swordsman for 40, and Koi for 200. But I'd probably go 175. So I haven't actually had to play around with it that I know of, Anthony.
No, fair enough.
But that's probably given me some impetus to go have a look at it now. So let's have a look. Avengers Forever. I know that you haven't got any Avengers Forever. But
no, unfortunately, I have missed out on those at this point in time, but you never know what's going to happen down the track.
Definitely. But you've had a look through the figures.
Yes, I have.
And I guess that being able to play on Roll20 allows this sort of thing to go, well, I haven't got this figure, but I can play it. Because you can play anything online. That's why I was able to play the Batman Prime. I actually don't know if I'll ever own one of those. I would hope to. That would be great, because he'd probably go on every team at this stage. But the likelihood of me pulling one in the case is slim, but it's the possibility still there. But you've had a look through, and what are the top 5 of pieces that you think or that you've liked from the Avengers Forever? I think that's what we need to talk about.
Yeah, well, as you know, I'm not a huge meta player, so a lot of these are just going to be, ooh, I like that character, or ooh, I haven't seen that character in a while. So, it won't be too in-depth, it's just be, a little bit of fun. But first cab off the rank is obviously Ms. Marvel.
Nice, yep.
Big Kamala Khan fan. She's got rally dice that looks like it could be a bit of fun from friendly attack rolls, where if somebody rolls a 2, she puts that on her card, and she can replace people's single dice rolls. So Blades, Claws, Fangs, Leadership, Breakaways with a 2.
Yep,
and it doesn't need range; it needs line of fire only.
Yep, so that's good. So you can still, well, she doesn't have any range, does she?
No, she doesn't.
Which makes sense. But line of fire is always good. And rolling 2s, it's a blue rally, so that's your roll. So it's always nice to get something out of a bad roll if you roll a bad one. And I like the fact.
And I also like. Oh, go on.
No, you go.
I was just saying, I also like the fact that she can change sides, so it's very much in character with the comic book. So she can have tiny size and +1 defense, or normal size and precision strike, or she could be giant and have close combat expert.
Yeah, which gives you some options about carrying her out if you make her tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And then change her into a giant, so you got your giant reach and you get your pluses. Yeah, for 35 points, it's not a bad investment actually. I like it. 4 clicks of life, and it's got shape change for the whole dial.
Yeah, she looks like she'd be a bit of fun to play. Plus, look really cool up on my shelf.
Definitely. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for one. Cool. Okay. For myself, Anthony, I liked. My first one I liked is the Blue Marvel. Now, Blue.
Yes.
Yeah. Blue Marvel comes at 150 or 50 points. I like him at that 50-point line. I guess this is looking at what's is really competitive. He can be very competitive. I think he sort of fits in there with power. He's got cosmic energy. He starts with running. So at 50 points, he starts with running shot and outwit. He's only got 4 clicks of life, but it's his trait and his special power on his damage on his last click that sort of really work well together. He does have Force Blast and Pulse Wave traded, so can't go wrong with that. And nice. It says, when Blue Marvel is targeted by a range attack after resolution, heal him 1 click and remove an action token from him. So if people are shooting him, he can take damage, but then heal and then and take the action token off, which is really great. And then
that sounds quite handy.
Yeah, and it combines really well with his last. He's got a special power on his last click, which is stop, and there's a invulnerability, regeneration, and super senses. So if you shoot him and hit him to the stop click, he heals a click and takes token off. So I really like that dynamic and can be very useful. 2 targets. He's a flyer, a really useful piece at 50 points, and no slouch at 150 either. Plenty of strength there at 150 if you're looking for that. But I like that 50-point line for him.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, he's good fun. I've played him a few times and I've actually really enjoyed him. So,
Yes, I do believe you've beaten me to a pulp with him once.
oh yeah, that was yeah. Yes, he's very just he just and I think that even then you hit him to that stop click and being able to heal back up was really great. Well,
Great for some.
yeah, this is true. What's your second pick out of this Avengers Forever set?
All right, my second one isn't terribly flashy, but it's Mockingbird, good old Bobby Morse. And I
Okay.
think this is the first time we've had a Mockingbird since, I want to say, Age of Ultron.
Ooh,
Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
it may be. I'll have a look. Okay,
And she's nothing flash, but does have charge, leap, climb, and stealth. Also shield team ability, which is always handy. She's got combat reflexes and close combat expert all the way down the dial. And she's got top dial precision strike. Only 40 points, so if you need to fill in some space on a shield or Avengers team, or Wakanda, or Spy, then she'd probably fit in really well.
Always does. Always liked Mockingbird. I always enjoyed the one from Sinisters. I think it was from Sinister. They were only cheap, and I think they got legacy carded in the Empire set. Those ones, but yeah, you're right. Before that, it was Age of Ultron, which it has been a very long time since we had good old Bobby Morse. Great piece. I really like it. Shield team ability, Avengers team ability. I know Avengers only gives her a move +1 to a move, but Shield is always valuable. I like that choice. For me, my second choice is now I'm not sure how to pronounce it because I'm hearing it differently. I've always pronounced it Kazar, but I've heard Kazar as the pronunciation of it. But I think Kazar is a really good click as well. If you've seen him,
I did, and almost made my list, especially because you get Zabu.
Yep. So you get to generate a Zabu bystander, but I think like he's got 6 clicks of life for 50 points. He's got charge, leap, climb, stealth, special for the first 4 of those clicks. He has a special damage power, so he's got leadership, and when he uses it succeeds, he can either choose to generate a Zabu bystander or move a friendly Zabu bystander up to half its speed, so you get something out of that as well from using your leadership. But he does have a trait that says when Kazar is given a move action, after resolutions you may move another friendly character with a shared keyword or a friendly Zabu bystander up to half its speed value, and I think that is really handy.
Yeah, I could imagine having him on a mystical or a ruler team, and that would be very handy.
Yeah, definitely. With those keywords, animal, mystical, ruler, even Wakanda, and it's got savage land and warrior. So there's at least 3 really viable animals, pretty viable, and the mystical has always been good, and ruler's a good keyword. So be able to move someone half the speed, and then they can still do something else. Fantastic. So I really liked him, and he's a team player as well, so you can copy those team abilities. So that was my number 2.
Well, number 3 for me is Kang.
Kang
the Conqueror. I mean, he does get put down. Was it 3 bystander tokens at different points?
Yep.
So different versions of Kang. So I like that idea. Always like my bystanders.
Yep.
But he's got his special Master of Time, where if he moves 5 squares or less, he can make an attack. And he's got 7 range, so he's got a bit of a swing there. Plus, he's got range combat expert top dial. So move 5 squares, range of 7, swinging a 13 with penetrating psychic blast on the first click.
Yeah, nice.
Not bad. And it's only 100 points.
Yeah, and you can fade through a wall and to do that, which is good.
Surprise!
Yeah, here I am. And I guess that certainly feels very Kangish, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I do like that you get Immortus as one of the bystanders, and Kang, and obviously Conqueror.
Yep.
So different aspects of Kang, which makes it a little bit of fun.
And I like the fact that, like, one of them brings outwit to the table.
You get probability control with Immortus, and you got Perplex with Kang.
Yep.
So Conqueror has Outwit,
And so you get
yeah,
those extra power. Yeah, so I think, for 100 points, someone who can generate some really good bystanders, really useful. And the thing is that all bystanders are, let's check, I think, well, Kang's a flyer, or Mortis isn't, and Conqueror isn't, but the Kang one's a flyer, so all of a sudden you generate another flyer to carry people around. Yeah, he's really good. Oh, good choice. Good choice. I haven't actually played him yet. I do have him, but I
oh,
haven't taken a chance to play him yet. So maybe he needs to be on the agenda as well.
I do like his keywords as well. I mean, other than Council of Kangs, but future, past, ruler, scientist, always have a good scientist team, and warrior.
Yep. So he's got
So,
plenty he can fit on.
so you could have Zabu and Kang on the same team with the ruler.
He could, and
So
then well, yes, you can have Kazar, and he can move half his speed, so he can move 4 squares. Then he can move another 5 for free, and then he could still range for 7. So what's that? That's a 16. Which is, that can get you moving if you need to. Might stretch yourself out, but he is a team player as well.
absolutely.
But he's a team player as well, so being able to copy team abilities, great. Again, I really like that. Cool. It's a really nice number 3. For myself, my number 3 I had was the Hulk. This 200-point Hulk, the Thunderclap Hulk, is just a beast to play. Look, he's he's outwittable and things like that, but having stopped Clix, he's got 3 of them, and I've just found when I took a really simple team of him and Hulk, Blue Marvel, and the Scarlet Witch, and Hulk was just running rampant, just whacking everyone, and then when people tried to shoot him, he could clap back at them, and he's just really good. I like that Gamma Clap, which is once per range attack. When Hulk or the adjacent friendly character would be hit, you may roll a 2d6. I'm really fond of that. I always liked the Nimrod for that. When someone rolled against me, I was playing Nimrod. I love rolling against them.
Yep.
If you do, and your roll is equal to or greater than the attacker's finalized attack roll, the attack automatically misses all targets, and after resolution, deal 1 penetrating damage to the attacker. So I think that's always great. You try to attack me, bang, you take damage back instead. I found it better when they attack people who are next to Hulk, because Hulk being a 19, they've always had to roll really high to hit him, and then I've never been able to roll as high as them. But generally, I've just really enjoyed the fun of playing him. He's just really good fun to play. Being a giant, he's got that reach. So he was probably my third. I wouldn't say favourite, but I really enjoyed playing him from the set.
Yeah. Well, my number 4 is Ms. America Chavez.
Okay, cool.
So I remember I won a Ms. America as a prize, probably 2017, maybe 2018.
Yeah.
So it was a while ago. I think it was close to the time with the Thor set with the giant figures.
Yep.
And I loved that one, but I couldn't quite get it to work because she'd make portals and but I think this one, it's nice. We get hypersonic on the first 2 clicks, where she can carry 2 people.
Yeah, that's great.
And tell me that's not handy.
Well, again, it's something that's unique, I guess, to be able to carry and hypersonic as well.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of charge, some flurry, strength, so super strength, and just a few little bits and pieces down the dial, which makes her quite interesting.
Yeah,
but just the fact that they've finally made another Ms. America was probably why I picked that one. I would 100% play it.
Yep, no, you're right. 2017, the WizKids one. Yeah, and that was probably a lot harder to to build something around, I reckon. I think you're right. Yeah, space portals. Wow. Okay, yep. So, and 95 points. So this one's certainly a lot more value. 50 points.
50 points.
Being able to carry people around. Yep, another great piece. Nothing like, as you said, nothing super defining for the meta, but it's still good fun. Hypersonic speed, being able to carry in hypersonic. So thinking that she could carry two people, two people with power, she could be hitting for like 5.
Yeah,
that would
absolutely
work. I'm pretty sure. So that's something you could do, and she's got empower herself from that top click. So yeah, no, it's good.
Whoever she's standing next to can then next turn, should they get to,
yep,
take a swing with an extra 1 to damage.
Yep. So that could be really valuable. No, I like it. Good one. For me, Anthony, my fourth one that and this is actually one that I don't think I got in my case. I have to go back and have a look. Actually, I think there was a couple rares I missed out in my case. I think Mockingbird was one of them. And I missed out on this one, which is number 33, which is Prodigy.
Ooh.
So more of a support piece, but I really liked the support that he can give. Obviously X-Men, and then so the thing about X-Men teams we'll talk about earlier on could be valuable for that. But he's got a rally 5 for opposing attack rolls. When a friendly character within 6 squares in line of fire rolls a single d6, you may remove one of Prodigy's rally die to replace that die. So great for your Blades, Claws, Fangs. You can replace and put a 5 there instead if you're using lots of swords. And then obviously shape changes and super sensors and things like that you could use for, which would be really valuable. So I like that power. He also,
very nice.
Yeah. Sorry. He's got X-Men, X-Men Team Billy and Avengers Team Billy. He's also got a second trait, which is Unlock All My Hidden Knowledge. When an opposing character within 6 squares in line of fire makes an attack, you may choose a standard power the attacker can use. Prodigy can use a chosen power until you choose again. So you can steal a power. That's what I understand from that. You can say, someone might be attacking, but they might have outwit and they didn't use it, but you can still go, cool, well, I'll take outwit off of you. So just valuable to take something off. I thought just a really good helper, a good filler for a lot of teams. Just something that you need. It's got outwit and perplex, alternating through his outwit, perplex, outwit, perplex. It's only 4 clicks, but it's only 35 points. Does come with super sensors and willpower as well. So I thought he was really just a really good piece that could fit into lots of teams.
Yeah, I could imagine using him on an X-Men team.
I'm sure you could. I can see him going on many of your teams, but that's what I think. That's the value of him. You can leap, climb around, jump around the place, get in position to outwit someone, and then then you run someone up. And then they attack that person you've run in, then he can copy a power off of them. He's got plenty, he's already got outwit, but so you could imagine getting prob from someone, all of a sudden he's an outwitted probber for 35 points, bopping around the place. Could be really valuable.
Yeah, definitely.
Even things like, that person had pulse wave. Cool, I can take pulse wave off of them. Who knows? And I guess that's always situational, but I think that rally 5 thing, positioned well, he'll be able to help your team out as well, being able to give those rally die and change things to a 5. Maybe save someone from dying or getting hit because they can super sense out of it, or make a big hit on a Blades, Claws, Fangs. Especially if someone's got
definitely.
Blades exploit, 5 Blades exploit, wonderful. Hey, who's your 5th person?
All right, my 5th. I've gone for a chase for the last one.
Ooh, nice.
And the chase I've gone for is Ms. Kang.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. I thought that might be the case. There's been a bit of a theme in this.
Yeah, I unintentionally, I think 3 of those characters that I've picked have all got the Young Avengers keyword or something like that.
Yep.
So
and going where you got
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yep.
they do. They do.
And
But
two of those characters you pick combine to make this one.
that is true. I didn't even think about that one. Yes, so Kang and Kamala Khan.
Yep.
uh 50 points, TK, outwit, and that's not even looking at the traits.
Yep.
So like also power cosmic or cosmic energy as it is now. So you can't go past that. Can't be outwitted. Uh,
11 speed is good as well. And yeah, I think, and the outwit's great as well too. So that's a good start. I think we may have lost her. I can keep going though. And we look at her. So she's got shape change. So when Miss Kang uses it after rolling, you may KO any number of friendly Chronal Echo bystanders to increase the result by X, where X is the number of Chronal Echo bystanders you KO'd. So you can increase that. You can increase it. So she's also got trait of probability control. When Miss Kang uses it after resolution, may generate a Chronal Echo bystander. So that's how you generate them, and you can have a max of 3. So I guess that's that. You might have 3 on the table. You can KO 3 of them to increase the result of your die roll. And she does come with a stop click at the end of her 4 clicks, stop and barrier. And then when Miss Kang would take damage from attack, you may instead KO a friendly Chronal Echo bystander within range and then place Miss Kang in the square last occupied. So she's hard to kill as well, which is one of those things that is always nice, because you can get rid of a Chronal bystander and then she can move into its place to make it easier for her to get away. That's a pretty good choice, Anthony. I've just lost Anthony though, but I'll keep going. For myself, for my last pick, I've got to go over Chase as well, and my Chase is Arachnite. I managed to pull Arachnite, and I've played him a few times, and I've really enjoyed playing him. I think he's quite valuable. Well, he's probably not the most. He has really good potential and skills. I'm not quite sure if you want to call him meta. I know I've heard around trap some people not overly fond of him, but that's okay. I just think I really like the sculpt. His sculpt looks really great. I think that was a really good design. And just pulling up here, I liked him at 100 points. I think that's valuable with that 11 attack and 4 damage coming in. I like the fact that you can choose the powers off him as well, and that he just has a bit of versatility. A couple stop clicks in his dial. I want to go around and play with him a bit more, but I think I'll just have some fun with him. He's got a Spider-Man team ability, so he can copy stuff. He's got mystics as well, so I really like him as a figure and something that I'll probably work with. And then sort of going, you could mix him in with Kazar, and so there's some shenanigans that could go on. So I look forward to playing him a few more times. So that was our discussion and review, and I'll guess our top figures from Avengers Forever. I've really enjoyed the set, and I've really enjoyed playing the pieces out of it so far, and look forward to continuing to build. I've tried things like Red Skulls and Hydra. I've tried Shield and Avengers, and I probably need to move up a bit, and I look forward to playing the Kang at some stage. Hey Anthony, you back? Nearly? Hello, you're back.
Currently, yeah.
Yeah, you dropped out.
Oh yes, I most certainly did. My internet is not working very well at all.
Yeah, no, it was been fine up until then, wasn't it? So we'll keep track. I sort of went through your Ms. Kang.
Oh, thank you very much.
And so we can just jump back, because you like Miss Kang for probably different reasons why I liked her. But you were talking about how she's Young Avengers. You like her cosmic energy, and that's where you sort of got to when you dropped out. I talked about the Chronal Echo bystanders and the probability control.
Yes, so I was going to talk about Echo bystanders, which I thought was a neat little thing. So they themselves have probability control, but only if no friendly character named Chronal Echo use probability control this turn. So you get yourself an extra bit of some free probability control.
Yep.
When Miss Kang, so to get them, she's got a trait called I Know This Happens, and it's probability control. When Ms. Kang uses it, after resolutions, you may generate a Chronal Echo bystander. And then right at the end of her dial, she's got this is all wrong. Stop and barrier. And when Miss Kang would take damage from an attack, you may instead KO a friendly Chronal Echo bystander within range, and then place Ms. Kang in the square they occupied. So nice little get out of jail free card there.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that was the shape change that she can. So and she got that opportunity to use that traded shape change, get rid of Chronal Echo bystanders to increase that result as well. So that could be handy as you go through.
Yes.
And I liked it for that keep right. So again, she's got, you said TK, outwit, prob, all those things are great. She can move around a fair bit, and if she does get hit, she's going to move away, hopefully, and be in some safety, so she's not going to get double tapped.
Yeah. So I think she'll be, as I said, a lot of fun to play, and it looks very pretty.
yeah, very very much so. I went through and talked about my fifth pick, Anthony, which was Arachnite, and
I understand that.
Yeah, and I really like the sculpt, and it has played pretty well, and I look forward to continuing to build with it. I'm not sure how of the full potential of it, and something I probably need to look into a bit. I've heard some people say, yeah, it's good but not great, and I've heard some people say that's really an excellent piece. So I'll look forward to playing around with it a bit more. I know that time I played it against you, it sort of it worked out really well.
It certainly did.
So something that I want to think about, and that's Avengers Forever. So as I was saying, I really enjoyed the set. I've played a reasonable amount out of it, and I look forward to continuing to play from it, because I've actually again, I think I like Avengers sets. I just like the characters that they have in them. Okay, so our next thing I wanted to talk about tonight was from the new set Batman, the Batman Team Up set. There is a piece of equipment in there, the utility belt. And I really like that mechanic. It's got the same mechanic that the alchemical fire and the alchemical potion had, where you roll a dice and you turn the piece of equipment on the card to get a different power. So with the bat belt, you could have like the smoke grenades, and you could use smoke cloud as free, or batarangs, which gave you range combat expert and a minimum range of 4, and just different things like that. So I really like that. I really like the alchemical fire and potion for that same reason, just a bit of mix things up. So my question was, what other equipment could we get in HeroClix that could use this same mechanic? What could it be, and what sort of things might it do? And that was my question. I actually posed that to Dial H for HeroClix boys as well, to see if they have any ideas. But yeah, Anthony, I don't know if you have any thoughts about that. What piece of equipment could it have?
Look, the only thing that really jumps to mind, and just as a weird fun one.
Yep.
I think there was a Riddler figure a while back that had like a little box. I'm sure he sat on it, but there was I'm sure it had some effect where he could do something with it. I was just thinking.
Yep. So that was
a riddle box.
A riddle box.
So
yeah. I think
you spin the thing around and it has a different effect, and I just thought that might be a little bit of fun.
That would be fun. I think that was one of the legacy cards in this Batman set, is that Riddler.
Oh, really?
Yep. Just looking through to see if I can find them. Legacy cards. Where are they? But I'm pretty sure that was one of the figures that was legacy carded. There's so much in this set. Here we go. World's Finest. Too many things. Okay.
Yeah.
Riddler.
He's from Superman and Legion of Superheroes.
Yes, and so yeah, he's the one sitting on the box. But yeah, a riddle box could be good. He actually has, so this legacy card has riddle me this perplex, but you can use regardless of line of fire. When Riddler uses it to target an opposing character after resolution, give the character a puzzle token. He's actually a mission point character. He's got a second trait was when an opposing character within range with a puzzled token would be targeted by perplex, roll a d6. 1, remove all puzzled tokens from that character. 2 to 4, gain 1 mission point for each puzzle token on the character. 5 to 6, the use of perplex has no effect and gain 1 mission point for each puzzled token on that character. So yeah, so that's interesting, but I like the idea of the puzzle box actually being a piece of equipment, and you turn it and it has different effects to it. That's a great idea.
What ideas did you have?
Well, I think for me, I was going. I thought Batman utility belt, not Nemesis, but I watched Brave and the Bold probably too much, and Green Arrow was always competitive. I was super competitive with Batman, but then being a Marvel person, I've liked Hawkeye. So I was thinking Hawkeye's quiver, and so he could have on his dial would be different arrows that he could use. And to make, because these are archers, so it could be a Green Arrow quiver or a Hawkeye's quiver. It doesn't really matter to me, but like I was looking and going, you could have like if you had like 6 arrows. I like the idea of not having too many. I think the alchemical potion, there was like 10 different powers you could have on there. It was too much. I like the idea of the bat belt. It's just got 6 things and you can keep going around. I had because I've read lots of comics with Hawkeye. I've got things like, I've seen one where he has like an adamantium arrow, and that could be like maybe psychic, penetrating psychic blast, damage +1, precision strike. So it's all those things that sort of go through. He could have a net arrow, and that could be incapacitate, but maybe up to 2 targets, or incapacitate one person, maybe all adjacent characters around him.
Or gains immobile.
Yeah. Or gains immobile. That's actually a good one. Yeah, I like that, because that's gaining immobile is, and there's a bit, they're putting it out a little bit more, but it's still a very unique power in the game, and very strong. I think maybe make someone not be able to move is really good. I had like an explosive arrow, so you get energy explosion.
Yep.
A smoke arrow for smoke cloud. I had a boomerang arrow, which might be flurry from range.
Okay.
So hits on the way in and hits on the way back. That's I'm just sort of thinking. And so you get all those sort of different powers that you could have.
How about a sonic arrow with pulse wave?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yep. And so that was 6. So sonic arrow. And so, yeah, and I think that could work really well. And obviously you'd tweak some of the powers, and we're just sort of throwing some things out there. But Hawkeye's quiver was one that I thought of.
Oh, I like that one. That'd be a lot of fun. And I do like the randomness of it.
Yeah, and so playing with the utility belt the other day, and it's like, so yeah, because it could be, brain. The bat belt or the utility belt worked with someone who had the Batman family keyword. I don't know if you'd give Hawkeye's quiver to someone with the Avengers keyword. That seems a bit too broad. But yeah, being able to do these things would be, if you pick the right keyword, because those the keyword matching thing. I'm not sure what it would be. Avengers probably is most likely one, but it would feel a bit too much to go on so many people.
What about Young Avengers?
Young Avengers could work.
That narrows it down a little bit.
Yeah, it does narrow it down a bit. But and I was thinking you could have the Great Lakes Avengers, because he did lead them for a while. That narrows it right down. I don't even know if there is a Great Lakes Avengers team keyword. My other one that I thought, and because I did go on a hunt to look at objects and different things, the other one I thought sets up pretty well for this would be the Staff of One. from Nico Minora. Because
Yes.
yep, because we've had some clicks of her, and I've actually enjoyed. I remember I think it was the one from Mutation Monsters. No, that sounds a bit too early, but it was an early one. It might have been a Thor set. I can't remember, but I really enjoyed playing that one. And the Staff of One, because it's a different power each time. You could have multiple powers. You could have like up to 10 there, and very much similar to the alchemical potion with different powers on there, rather than having to create something new each time. But I thought that could be good.
No, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that one was another piece I thought it could be. I was looking around at things like, and this one was a bit more out there. I looked at the Horn of Proteus. Now, do you know the Horn of Proteus, Anthony?
I do not.
The Horn of Proteus is that one. It's in that meme where Doom's got a horn and Namor's there, and he's like, "I'm going to toot my horn. I'll toot my horn when I want." It's actually the one that summons Giganto. Yeah, Giganto.
Yes.
No, not Giganto. The whale.
Yes.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I thought maybe instead you could have 6 different bystanders, monsters of the deep that you could call by spinning it, but only once per game, something like that. I wasn't quite sure how it would work, but that could work out. He blows the horn, and then all of a sudden, another creature comes up from the deep.
I really like that. That would be a lot of fun. I obviously always love bystanders.
Yep. Well, I liked back in the time playing Dr. Demonicus and being able to drop those the big guys that he was able to drop. So it feels a little bit like it could be that, but the dice, if you had that mechanic, the dice would make it a little bit more random. I don't know. But yeah, so that was my thing. Hawkeye's Quiver, the Staff of One, and also the Horn of Proteus. That's what it was called. I had to look it up. I knew what I wanted. I looked up Namor's horn, which it's not a great thing to look up on Google.
I hope you had safe search on.
I did have safe search on. I did think about that at the time. I was like, oh, maybe just let's take this safe and we'll see what will go. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, so that was my thinking about that for that. Looking forward, how can we continue to develop equipment? I like having equipment in the game. I like the fact now that we don't have to go about the equipment dance at the start of the game. Oh, cool, I'm going to TK, that's a piece of equipment that I can just equip now and be done with it. I really like that part too.
Yeah.
And so I like having equipment as part of the game. And, I'm sure there's other things you could probably do it for as well, but I think you wouldn't want to do it for every piece of equipment, and because you just can't. Like, I looked at some different things and it said, oh, this thing concussive blasts and can change reality and stuff, and I'm going, well, how would you do that? Like, obviously the Infinity Gauntlet feels like something that you could do that with, but we've had lots of different variations of that with the back in the day, the big Infinity Gauntlet, we had to turn it, and then the little ones we had just recently.
Yep.
And then obviously Thanos and a different version of Thanos that have his own type of Infinity Gauntlet with him. So that's why I tried to stay away from that as well. Cool. Is there any?
I just thought of one.
Yeah.
One of the most it's not recent now, but one of the more recent Thor comics. He loses the hammer, and I think it's Eitri builds him as many hammers as he wants.
Okay.
So, and each hammer does something different until it's destroyed. So, I don't know, it could be something to do with that, where you spin the dial and you get a hammer that does one particular thing.
The hammers of Thor. Okay. Yep. No, I can see that. Again, I was trying to work out how the mechanic work, but you could have almost like a Mjolnir, but it has different power sets to it each time. But I know it's not Mjolnir because he was building a whole lot of different hammers, wasn't he? But that's a good one. I tried to think around for DC as well, but I didn't come up with anything. But I'm sure there's plenty of other things out there.
I'm sure there's something for Mother Box. There's always something for a Mother Box.
Yeah, and well, because obviously one would be phasing, but yeah, let's be able to move squares. So yeah, it'd be interesting, and so something I probably could continue to look into. But hopefully they continue on this route, on this using this mechanic for equipment in different ways. I don't expect it for every piece of equipment, but it'd be good to see it again. When I saw it on the Bat Belt, I was like, that's cool. I want to see that again more and more. Okay, so I think that almost brings us to the end, Anthony.
I think you're right.
Excellent. Well, I've really enjoyed talking tonight. Again, it's always great to talk Clix. And yeah, I might finish off. Look, if people are still listening at this stage, thank you. And you're welcome to follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. And you're obviously listening to us through our YouTube channel, so thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment. We're always happy to have comments as well on our ramblings that we do, Anthony.
Makes it a bit more interesting. It's more interactive that way.
Yeah, and I just enjoy talking, so it's always great. And yeah, so as we bring another episode to a close and turn off the Barbie, we would like to thank you for tuning into the show. Have a great week, and remember that even a poor plan is better than no plan at all. Thanks for listening. Say goodbye, Anthony.
Bye.
Cool. Have a great one.
We're fighting an army of robots, and I have a bow and arrow.